Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Okay. We've got the active speaker. Okay. The active speaker is good. No other cameras turned on. I guess I am the active speaker. That will then do what? No other cameras turned on. See, that's what it definitely did last time. And then a constant presence.
Born and raised in Idaho. I lived there
All
until
right.
I was about 13, and then I ran away to Seattle on I graduated high school early. I was just working like a dead-end job, really. I mean, I was just serving at a restaurant, going out to bars a little too often. And my dad had called me and asked. He said, "Well, what are your plans and what are you gonna do?" And I like laughed at him, and I'm like, I don't know, Dad. I don't know what I want to do. I'm gonna do something though. And he's like, "Well, why don't you go to welding school?" I laughed. No, I didn't know even what welding was. He said, "Well, just think about it. Just think about it." And I thought about it for probably a year or so. And I ended up, plans changed, and I moved to Florida. It just so happened I was in the right place at the right time in Jacksonville, and Googled Tulsa and seen commercials and had great reviews. And I called a recruiter and went in for an interview and signed up that day. When I first signed into school, I think there's probably like 300 to 500 students in the entire shop, but out of like 300 guys, there's 5 girls. Everybody wants to see what you're doing. Everybody wants to see how you're doing, and I hung a sign with MIG wire from one end of my booth to the other end of the booth, and it said, "Do not disturb." I've always been a hands-on person. I feel like I'm a hands-on learner, and so the hands-on is what helped me through school. And there was a little bit of like classroom time with like homework and stuff, but like the hands-on, I knew it was only 4 days of hands-on, 1 day of classroom, because I could not sit in a classroom for 5 days a week. My favorite experience about Tulsa Welding School was when we started learning how to use a torch. Like, welding was fun, but using a torch and playing with fire was even funner. Like, learning how to cut different angles and even to be able to see how the molten metal builds up. I mean, it was just really cool. So that's probably my favorite. I always wanted to be the best. And I always had to work harder to be the best. Learn different positions. I mean, you're always going to do a different position weld. And that's another thing from going from school, is like at school, they would put me in a box and have to practice with a mirror. And I thought these instructors were like crazy. And they're like, "You're going to want to learn this." Sure enough, the first couple jobs I was on, I was up in an aerial lift and they said, "Kayla, can you go make that weld?" And it was like up against the wall. I mean, I'd been so used to fitting pipe with like the same gap every time. On top had like an 1/8 inch gap, and on the bottom was like a 1/4 inch. Can you just close that up? I mean, I had to learn. But even when I go on different jobs, every job is so different. And so I'm continuously learning. I remember the first time I walked on the job site too. I was holding a welding hood, and I had gone up to my boss. They said this is my foreman, and this is who I needed to talk to. And I said, "Hey, where do I need to sign in?" Or what do I do? And he said, oh, well, the fire watches are over there. And I was like, I'm not a fire watch. And he's like, oh, well, the whole watches are over there. I was like, he's like, are you our new tool room lady? I'm like, no, I'm a welder. Like, I have a welding hood. So I am grateful for the income I've been able to provide for my family. When I first got out of school, I was wild with my money because I was, fresh out of school making so much money I didn't know what to do. I made $30 an hour and it was like $140 per diem. And we were working 7/12, so that first paycheck was like $3,400. And I was like, whew, what do I do with all this? And I put some away, I bought some furniture, and I went on vacation. I went down to the Keys. I eventually settled down and started investing my money and saving my money, and it's really paid off. I own my own home. I have my own vehicles. I have my own camper, my four-wheelers, my toys, my hunting clubs. I mean, I travel 4 months out of the year for archery. I mean, who can afford to travel that often? I'm very grateful for me and my husband to have really great careers because I am able to be a co-breadwinner in our family, and so we are able to live in a lifestyle outside of most people's budget, and I'm grateful for it. Like, my career goes with me wherever I want to go. I can get a job anywhere, but my career follows me. I kind of work for myself kind of thing. Like, I can always find a job, I can always make money, and if I want to work 8 months out of the year, then I can work 8 months out of the year. If I want to work 12 months out of the year and less hours, then I can do that too. I mean, it just really has been great for me to be more flexible, especially because I love my career, but my family's more important to me.
Okay.
I like
And
to
also,
work,
can I
work hard,
talk right
but I
now
like
over
to
the
work
video?
at work and come home and function outside of work, and I'm able to do that. And I just don't feel like I would have gotten or lived the lifestyle that I did without Tulsa Welding School. I would have never gotten into this industry. I would have never had the tools that I needed to succeed, and I'm just so grateful. Women can do it, and we're better at it, and I just would encourage any female, if you even are interested, to just jump in. If I can do it, you can do it too. And you'll enjoy it. And why not do something that you love? I mean, I think that's so important. If you are doing something that you love, then how can you consider it work? I have to thank my dad for even giving me the idea of welding.
Okay. I don't understand why it gets small like that. Well, I want it. Speaker. And even though I'm in there, really right. Okay. Testing. Wait, why does it say that I'm muted? Video guts. Okay, but why is this not getting... Huh. Okay.